I've got 15 minutes. And Andy knows and Katie knows that'll be 20 minutes. Because at the end of the day, I've got the clicker. But primarily, I want to engage your hearts and minds. Everything between your ears and the software between your ears is the most powerful software you will ever have. I know you're all interactively active with these thumbs, but what I want to do is engage your hearts and minds, equip you with some leadership resilience, and then empower you to be the greatest change agent you can be. I'm supposed to share with you a journey, a story, and then you can create your own journey and story, because that's what real leadership is about. But it is also about a personal experience that we then translate into the potential of life. And every single one of you here has a gift, a talent, and a potential. That's always about breaking down barriers. That's not part of my presentation, by the way. I'm just ad-libbing and working off my toes, because I'm a bit slight on my toes. And you've got to be slight of foot, fleet of foot, react and respond to the world, 24/7, 365. You've got to be able to work across continents, and everything locally in your everyday lives is global in its potential impact. That's the second slide, so I'm supposed to be using the bottom slide. By the way, I'm not into technology. I still believe in this software being the most powerful. So that's me. If you wanted to take me on, that's what you did. But before all of that, East End of London, Hackney boy, potential bad boy made good. Born in Wolverhampton, father died. Bad things are going to happen to you. Trust me. If you're going to be a leader of change and impact that positively makes a difference in the world, bad things are going to happen. You're going to have challenges. But it's how you turn the challenges into opportunities. I'm eternally grateful to the National Front and to the postcode rivalry, because without them, I would not have gone to the local karate club at the Solomon Sports Centre and walked through a door that changed my life. I actually believe that sport is a fundamental human right. I'm a product of sport for all, born in the 20th century, which means none of you are going to make some of the sense I'm trying to say to you, but all I am saying is I've survived 2 centuries. It's an intergenerational thing. But I had sport and the arts addressing my disaffection. You know, when you think that adults are strops, they haven't got a clue what you're about, and you know better than them. That might well be true. Competition karates I discovered as a sport, but primarily karate was a form of self-defense. And it gave me all the self-discipline, structure, routine, and ritual that I needed. It gave me a curriculum. I could test and grade myself. I got a black belt because that was the first goal. Always have a goal, always have an ambition, always have an aim. Then I realized I could compete. Then I had to learn language. I learned Japanese, and I was exposed to an incredible environment. And then I started winning some medals. When you start winning bling, it's a serious nice place to be. There is no better feeling than winning until you get married and have kids and all the other stuff and other responsibilities. But yes, I am one of the most fearsome competitors you would have ever encountered in competition. I know that because I used to go to Crystal Palace and out sprint or out gym or go to Pilates, because you need a whole host of skills. You need a diverse set of skills. It then saw me labelled. Labels are good because you can disprove them. Stereotypes are good because you can disprove them. I was an ethnic minority from a minority sport. Didn't like that, so I thought I'll change it, because my gold medals were equally as valuable as everybody else's. But it's what you do with those medals. I'm always going to share this story because 3 decades ago. You won't know who this boy is. He's a 14-year-old schoolboy called Benji Stanley. He lost his life on the streets of Moss Side in Manchester when Manchester were bidding to secure the 2000 Olympics. Any of you know of Live Aid? No, I'm really playing with the last century. Yes. No, you do. Fantastic. I was very much part of Live Aid. There was a sport element, but whilst Geldof was using the F word, I was using a little bit more shuttle diplomacy, but it was then about Africa. But as that life was lost, I decided to do something about it. And I got everybody at Wembley. Twickenham, Wembley are the cathedrals of sport. They are the establishment of sport. Banners, Sue Campbell of the Youth Sports Trust, inspired, joined me with Sports Aid and Lake Paul Zeta, and Olympic and world champion Colin Jackson. And we all decided that sport for all had become sport for a few. So we would decide to do something about it. The Youth Charter was born with a simple aim to provide young people with an opportunity to develop. There's no winning in this, developing in life. I'm the one on the left, by the way. It's great being different. Although I ran as Tally Gray Thompson, who will speak to you later. Because the sportsmen and women you see there, apart from one of them, had a silver spoon in his mouth. And he did time. Not going to tell you who, work it out yourself. But the sportsmen and women who had their gold medals, I used that power to attract the issues on the streets that I'd come from. In all of that time, I was a recreation officer at Hammersmith Fulham, and I was a co-director of the London Youth Games. I was the most elusive employee in the history of Hammersmith Fulham's leisure and recreation department. But I was winning medals, delivering the youth games, getting all the publicity they wanted, and I left the most productive community sports hall in the whole period of that time in which community sport was in the community, for the community, by the community. We've achieved that, you Google it, it's what happens from tragedy becoming an opportunity. And 3 decades on, a global movement of sport for development. Google Sport Accord in Birmingham, that's what we've inspired. But sometimes what you inspire won't deliver what you hoped it would do. Engaging young people, historically from disadvantage to disaffection, through sport, culture, arts and digital, but not at the expense of the software between your ears, equipping you with a mental, physical, emotional resilience, and then empowering you with an ambition, an aspiration of opportunity through further higher education, employability, or entrepreneurship. That is the ecosystem. That is the definition of youth. And you all have an experience that you can relate to. And you're all developing your gifts and potential because you can believe you can be a voice that can challenge, as you rightfully do so, to ensure that sport continues to be a fundamental human right, for, not only for you, all young Londoners, because London is a globally diverse city, but sport is not for everybody at this moment in time. And the Youth Games has to become a vehicle of change, hope, and opportunity. Leadership. Leadership is a very unique and important identity to have. If you want to lead with purpose, you will not be popular. Anyone wants to be popular here and you want to affect change, forget it. By the very definition that you want to affect change, people will doubt you, challenge you, disrupt you, derail you, and even try and destroy you. But at 6'4" and still in that good shape, people try but they don't succeed. Because you've got to stay purposeful. You've got to hang in there. Secret of success, anybody? This is human interaction, by the way. Secret of success.
Try yourself.
Keep going. Determination. Passion. Self-respect.
Consistency.
Shoulders. Commitment.
Being driven.
Individuality. Back table. Come on, this is I ain't going to just talk to you, I'm interactive with you. Legacy. Brilliant. Perseverance. Authentic. All of those words would be a word search that are underpinned when everyone says secret of success, hard work. All of the aforementioned, but you've still got to get on the boat at 4 or 5 in the morning when no one else wants to do it. You've arguably got to be putting in more hours and more effort than anybody. There is no secret to the success. Hard work, perseverance, determination, aspiration. You have an edge about you. You've got to push the barriers, step on the line. Don't cross it, bend the rules, don't break them. I've never broken a rule. Well, occasionally, but when you break it, you've got to put it right. Because you're human, and if you're a good leader, a great potential leader, you're going to make errors. I do not make mistakes. Mistakes cost, because it means someone else may be damaged or affected by your decision. Errors come from choices. Make lots of errors and avoid mistakes. When we talk about skills, they're underpinned by principles and values. Muhammad Ali, does anyone know of the greatest?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You'll be amazed. Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
Okay, 2 examples. Both At the time when I lost my father, I was looking for a role model. And in the 60s, there was a brash, young Louisvillian Cassius Clay who was walking his talk, not only in the ring, but out the ring. Any of you know Sam Cooke?
Yeah.
Malcolm X?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they were a group of talented young men challenging the injustices of the time. They were the sport, culture and arts. Muhammad Ali's ability to engage me with that energy, with that passion, with that commitment, and with his selfless sacrifice, not only in the ring, but beyond the ring, and he's mummy's boy. I'm a self-confessed mummy's boy. Any mummy's boys here? If you're not a mummy's boy, if you're on a test tube or I don't know how you came into the world, but something will suggest mummy was there somewhere. But anyway, and if you ain't, please make up with your mum. Dads, yeah, come and go, but mums, trust me, and they're always right. If you don't respect the female gender class, then you're in trouble, because they are smarter than us, they're more clever than us, and if you get on the wrong side of one of them, you're in trouble. So let's get some of this intergenerational gender equality in the house. Feel me?
Yeah.
All good. Muhammad Ali, and just so you understand, in 1974, I watched Rumble in the Jungle, George Foreman, Muhammad Ali, Zaire, Kinshasa, Zaire, and I'd already started karate, and I watched him win when people didn't expect him to. And I said, I'm going to become a world champion. That was at 16. And when I went to the World Championships in 1982 in Taiwan, I was not supposed to win. I wasn't even supposed to be there. And I wasn't going to compete, because South Africa were banned from international sport because of apartheid. And I said I wasn't competing. And I managed to get the rest of the British team to agree not to compete if a South African team competed. Because they didn't all look like us, and they didn't like anything that looked like us. One vote and a life ban saw me compete and win double gold, and the rest, they say, is history. Years on, I would go to South Africa in 1993 after launching the Youth Charter and present a vision for sport for the new South Africa. Sport for development as we know it is a legacy of the late Nelson Mandela, who used sport and the arts as a vaccine and antidote to avoid a race war. But it was the young people of South Africa in 1976, the Soweto uprisings. Google it. They took on the third biggest army in the world because they didn't want a language imposed upon them that didn't reflect their culture. So these are people that were shaping who you see before you. I met Muhammad Ali in 1988 in Seattle at Goodwill Games. It was a spiritual experience. I don't remember much of it, but those who were there witnessed it. If I said 2 years on, 2005, as he opened the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville, Kentucky, since then, the Youth Charter and the Muhammad Ali Center have had a journey of greatness. Muhammad Ali planned his funeral 10 years before he left the world. How's that for vision? By the way, the only sure thing in life. But he lived by these 6 core principles. And they're principles that I believe are transcendent, intergenerational, and are aspirationally attained by anybody who wants to fulfill their potential. Because you will need the confidence, the conviction, the dedication, the giving, the respect, and the spirituality. You will not have all of them. I don't have all of them. I still aspire to applying them. And they'll be shared with you because they're at the heart of the Social Coach Leadership Program. Because we realised that there were relationships that were being lost in our community that built the relationship of trust, confidence, and respect. All 3 qualities are invaluable if you're going to aspire to delivering those principles. The Float Like a Butterfly Social Coach Leadership Program was Muhammad Ali's legacy to empower women. Because in his faith, he believed that women need to be given greater equality and equity. So it's all about applying. The late Kofi Annan, UN Secretary General, was an incredible sprinter and applied sport in life. And when you talk about the world's challenges of the time, he applied the same principles of getting up early, applying his calisthenics, and giving himself the mental, physical, and emotional resilience that would help him compete in life. I'm saying rugby-wise because I'm in the Cathedral of Rugby. Anyone who knows of the passing of Richard Taylor recently, who was the father of Damilola Taylor, was murdered on an estate in Southwark. In the 90s, rugby actually went back on the streets because they were looking for young, raw talent. The late Alan Black, Steve Farr, and who else? Andrew Schooler were all part of an effort. And if you go to the Southwark estate, you will see Southwark Tigers Rugby Club, the only community-run rugby club, for the community, by the community, with the community. If you want the report, it's all there, it's all been done. But my frustration, you sports trust, there needs to be an urgency about what we're doing. There needs to be a collaboration about what we're doing. And there needs to be an intergenerational and societal recognition that you are the single most important factor of any long-term return on societal investment. Why do I work with young people? So when I'm an old codger and I do walk out the street and someone remembers me, you won't give me an hard time. You might even look after me. By the way, that's what Flo, our next door neighbour, did for my late dear mother. The community has to look after itself. The spirit of Ubuntu. I put LYG right as a focal cerebral so that you can absorb it. But at the very heart of that is LYG 33. The reason I took the chair of London Youth Games was to cause a bit of trouble, basically, because I thought if I can join a few dots up, shake it a bit, something might land. And they will all tell you what an absolute pain I am. But if I'm not making good trouble, I'm not worth getting up every day. Because the single most important thing when you get up is to what? A bit more interaction? First thing when you get up, what's the single biggest achievement for the day?
Have a go.
Yep.
Gratitude.
Mm-hmm. Breathe in, breathe out. Single biggest achievement. Can't do any of that unless you breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes have to start with a very humble step to be exalted in that aspiration that you have. All of the partnerships, all of those organisations have to work together. The only time they do work together is when we have the major games. It's Olympic and Paralympic year. This is the most quietest Olympic and Paralympic year I could ever remember. That's why this year's festival finals of London Youth Games experience is so important. You've got to be the voice, the advocates. You've got to be the pain. You've got to challenge. You've got to build partnerships, collaborations, networking. But I'll tell you this, when you're succeeding and having fun, you don't get tired because you're spirited. And not by being tired, you keep us focused. And we won't all get it right, but as I've said, make errors, do not make mistakes. Every single thing you do will make a difference this year. It's an incredibly important year. And this time next year, by the way, what are the stamps? I used to collect stamps so you're intrigued and you're curious. And how come I ain't seen them and earned any? Let the adults learn some stamps. Don't let them off. Every single one of you has to be able to challenge and turn challenge into opportunity. London Youth Games, which you'll all be at, and Finals Festival will be that celebration. But it was never about the winning. It was always about the taking part. And every single person who participates in it leaves their bit of magic. The late President Mandela held my hand in 1996 when I was at a very low point because I was trying to take it on, create change, affect change, and people were ignoring you. And they will ignore you, but you make yourself known. You achieve by just professional excellence. You apply yourself. But vision without action is but a dream. Action without vision is merely passing time. Vision with action can change the world. Don't ever not believe that to not be the case. Everything you see in society is immediate. All I can say is 3 decades on, and by the way, when we lose a life, we all lose a life. I cannot believe that I'm still having to fight for the streets I've come from. So that's why I've come to you, because I need your help. I was just sharing, I've been on planet Earth for 66 years. At the age of 6 is when sport played a part in my journey. But I'm still hanging out with you young'uns, so that's why I can still be very spirited. And I've got a 6'6" professional boxer, and he keeps me in shape. As of Sunday, I'm still aching Bit of pain's good, by the way. No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
So you're here to achieve greatness. You're here to take the next step of the journey in the LYG 33, the Elevate Youth Board, drawing those links together. So you become a very powerful voice of talent, potential, and change. Be that change, make that change. Be great, achieve great things. Because if you don't, you're just going to inherit a world that most young people are telling you, you've already marked it up, so we're going to have our time now. That might be so. By the way, what's the song? Oh, you came alive then? Well, I give Andy and Katie a hard time every Monday. I've never heard it, so I don't know what the song is.
Sing it.
No, Candy.
I made it around a song about London Youth Games based on.
You're trying to explain it. I want to hear it.
Come
I only got 20 minutes.
on.
Well, everyone who's shy until they become the extrovert, where is the word? Well, you must have all performed here, because it'll be part of the opening ceremony.
Jaden,
Yeah, you gotta sing it and do the dance with it.
They'll come and help
You've
you.
got to step
They'll
up.
come and help you. Go on.
Achieve greatness. Chairs always have to lead by example. Deputy chairs, you need to join.
He's going to be the first one.
Katie, senior leadership team must have seen it at the retreat.
Everyone can do the captain, man.
Well,
You don't grow up doing that, no?
this is the track.
No one
of
else
Candy
doing the
versus
Candy.
Candy.
Come on, all stand up.
What by
All
Robbie
stand up,
Williams?
all
What
stand
we're
up,
gonna do,
all
what we're
stand
gonna
up.
No, we're all gonna do it. I'll teach you. We're gonna do it.
We're gonna get
There we go. Interactive, active, and actively interactive.
the back of
Dun. Oh boy.
London Youth Games.
Dun.
It's the We do. Go back.
It's raining all day out. This is like here and now. Let's go.
Yeah.
So what's the left? London Youth
Games. It's the place to be.
Place to be.
Well, no, as you move, you get it. That's
Yeah.
what happens. The cerebral kicks in. Right, we'll talk
We
this
will
through
go
it.
back to
So
when we go to the left,
Right.
then the right,
Yeah.
Left.
then we go back, and then what we do is the kick.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
And then you turn aside, and then you keep doing that again and again, and then we'll go around. Yeah.
Oh, no. This is serious. So bottom line is, we do need the backtrack, and you've added a move I'm not seeing. That's a little more like, no, the kick and the punch. I'm into it.
That's the way I've learned it from
That's how I
my
learned it.
aunties and my uncles did.
So that's
All
karate.
right. By the way, there are different takes on this, but suffice to say, Andy and Katie, there'll be a group Candy LYG interpretation at London Festival Friday. I get it now, or you might even do it today, record it. And I've not seen it. No, it's got to be done. I've got to watch this.
I'm singing along with myself. In all the schools, representing your borough, representing your borough, representing your borough.
Woo!
Where's the energy?
Beginning of this song, London Youth Games. It's the place to be. Whenever London Youth Games.
I'm not hearing you not singing. I'm not telling my mom.
Right, so you all know what you got to do. You've got to have this on the
We're gonna have a
point.
rehearsal and
Yes.
everyone's
On the
gonna
point.
learn it.
On the point.
Anyone who can recite this song by the end of the day will get stuck.
Hey, so listen up, yo. There was a philosophy of the youth charter that the late Madiba, President Mandela, characterised and generate and inspire sport for development. Sport, culture, arts, interactively active, skills, leadership, potential, achieving great things, being great in how you achieve it. Always remember where the journey starts. I always ask the question if there was anyone here who knew of a friend, directly or indirectly knew of one of your generation who has lost their lives on the streets. Never forget the priceless life of young potential. The community campus was drawn again from the South Africa experience. Ubuntu embodies all those virtues that maintain harmony and the spirit of sharing among the members of society. That is transcendent, it is intergenerational, it is spiritual, it is practical, and it treats people as they would wish to be treated. My final words of wisdom are when you really want to achieve your greatness, that you use these words: please and mean it. Thank you and also mean it, because you will get things wrong. And then more importantly, use sorry sparingly, and it can heal, and it can see you forgiven, and it can see you given another chance. Be a face in the crowd. There's nothing you don't want to achieve that has already not been achieved. But you're the lucky generation. The millennials are supposed to be the richest generation of any generation. But that's not in bling terms. It's in what you have here, the information that acknowledges and gives you power. Power to affect change, make the difference in that change, become a face in the crowd, and when they tell you can't, why not? You can. I'll leave you with that. Thank you for listening.